Welcome back to Sailing Northern Breeze, this time with some drama. Drama isn't our style, but sometimes it's part of every journey. Here, it's not the sea or the boat, but it's geopolitical tension today, and it was very stressful. We're leaving the Baltic states to continue our circumnavigation of the Baltic Sea, so now we're on our way to Poland. But unfortunately, a direct routing from Klaipėda to Hel in Poland will take us through Russian waters. We are a Canadian and a U.S. citizen traveling on a U.S. flagged boat. Given the current geopolitical tensions and Russia's recent history of summary arrests and imprisonment of foreigners, we're nervous. So, how do we manage our risks? Minimize them. Well, first we need to understand those risks. The first risk we've already talked about, GPS jamming, and we believe it hasn't been an issue so far. We've spoken to Coast Guards, Border Patrol, lots of yacht owners, and so far there hasn't been an issue here. But to be safe, let's plot a course that we can follow with our magnetic compass in case that becomes needed. Check that box. We know how to manage the GPS risk. Now, second, let's define territorial sea versus EEZ. The territorial sea, under international law for all nations, is 12 miles from shore. This is pictured here along the coasts of these nations in light blue. Each nation has absolute jurisdiction in that area. Law enforcement, in the manner of their choosing, absolutely, it's their backyard. They also have the right to pursue suspected lawbreakers to twice that limit, up to 24 miles, so double that light blue area. So our second risk management strategy, stay well outside that 12-mile limit. For extra safety, beyond the 24-mile limit, where they do not have the right to pursue you, theoretically. Then there are the nation's EEZs. That is their exclusive economic zone. In the open ocean, that is 200 miles from shoreline. However, in the constraints of the Baltic, they have negotiated this area between the red lines, dividing the EEZs of Russia from Poland and Lithuania. This is the darker blue region on the map. In the exclusive economic zone, each nation has the right to manage economic activity, like fishing and mining, but is not the same as their strong rights inside the 12-mile territorial sea. We're a lot more comfortable in the economic zone, so we make our plan to cross, which includes a little time in the Russian EEZ, but at all times we're at least 40 miles off their coast, well beyond 12 miles, well beyond 24. Let's go 40 miles off their coast. So here's our course, with distances and compass headings shown here. We'll come back to this later. We'll know when we're in that EEZ, as on our charts, on our chart plotter, will show their Russian military firing zones. Other nations don't agree that an EEZ includes military firing practice zones, but Russia claims it. We'll spend a few miles in this area overnight. We're accepting that risk, but it's not easy. Next, do we turn off our electronic AIS, our automatic identification system, which transmits over VHF so all other vessels can see us? Do we turn it down so they can't? So they won't see us? We decide against that. Our rationale is that sailing without our automatic identification system activated might be construed as spying if someone was looking for a reason to stop and detain us. Recalling again that we're an American registered vessel and we will be in Russian waters. So we leave it active. And also, if there's any other ships out there, they'll see us. They'll see us in the dark, in the fog. It's a good safety feature. That's why we have it. So, we have a plan. And we file our sailing plan with family back home and friends locally and tell them to watch for us on marinetraffic.com. You can see us there also. Just search out Northern Breeze in the little search bar. Our intent is to leave Lithuania early on August 26 from Klaipėda, sail 132 miles, arriving in Poland on the morning of August 27th. We should be well clear of Russia's EEZ by 8 a.m. local time, about 11 p.m. back home in Canada, 7 hours time zone difference to Lithuania, and my brother is looking to see that we make it. In case something happens, he can begin making phone calls to authorities. And anything can happen here, from weather challenges to various mechanical issues on sailboats, or an intervention from various nations, NATO or Russian. They might be curious as to what we're doing out in this space. We have a plan, and we're being tracked in case something goes sideways. We have a final night in Klaipėda. Beautiful, August 25th. And on the 26th, we're off the dock early. It's a beautiful day with a south wind, but we're starting out heading west, so that works great. Our actual heading, once we clear the harbor, is 270 degrees, due west. A nice broad reach. We're nervous. It's going to be a long day and an even longer night, but so far so good. The first leg from the harbor, turn 3 out to turn 4, was 37 miles, and by now it's about 5:30 p.m., and we've made turn 4. And our heading is now 258 degrees, just a little bit further south from due west, and we're going to be on this tack for 20 miles. But the wind has clocked around onto our nose a bit, so we've slowed down. This is what we see around 7:30 p.m., heading west into the sunset. Well, we left Lithuania several hours ago, and we're on our way to Poland. A couple things on this chart of note as we go around Kaliningrad. Up here, military practice area. Up here, firing danger area. Firing danger area. So this area outside of Kaliningrad, down here, Kaliningrad, all offshore here. Just another ship. All offshore here is Russian territory. See a lot of boats going around it, and over here, a few up here. The two that are inside that zone are Russian. We looked at them. Let's see. Who is that guy? AIS vessel. Status sleeping. He's not sleeping. Cargo ship. Underway using engine. Let's see where his destination is. St. Petersburg. That's where he's going. Russian ship. So we'll steer clear. That's that guy. So he's inside that area, much farther than us. We're staying on the outskirts. About 60 miles into the 130-mile journey. 55 minutes. Security, wszystkie statki, to wisi jest zatoka, zapowiedzi na kanale 60. Late in the evening, around 10 p.m., we make the heading change at turn 5 and we head southwest now. 218 degrees. It's really southwest. This leg is 23 miles through the night, through Russia's EEZ. So we turned a corner. We went west from Lithuania to go around the territorial waters of Russia and Kaliningrad. And finally turned south, heading towards Poland. We've come about 80 miles so far today. We'll get about 50 left. It's a beautiful night. Lots of stars. A few fishing boats around. And Maria's on watch for this, from about 10 p.m. to about 2:30 in the morning. She has a bit of a close encounter with a cargo ship bound for St. Petersburg, Russia, as it passes within 2 nautical miles of us. That's too close for comfort, especially in the dark. There's no reason to be that close, but we're afraid to deviate our course and fears that we might surprise somebody and they might react negative. And then we make the final turn south, turn 6, at 2:29 a.m. with our new heading of 176 degrees. We had planned on 185 degrees, but we sailed on a little further west before making that turn 6, so we're now needing 176 degrees to meet Hell in Poland. But we believe we're free of Russia's EEZ, a significant relief. Yeah, it's 2:29 a.m. We think we're out of Russia's EEZ, but it's not over yet. Our confidence in our GPS accuracy on a good day is some hundreds of meters, and in this region, it's even less. Hence the extension on that last leg to make good and sure we're beyond that boundary. And then, our confidence in individuals in the Russian Navy having goodwill and good intention isn't high either. We're used to crossing borders between Canada and the US, around Europe. And it's mostly about compliance with rules, regulations, and doing the right things. But there's always a risk of a border officer in any country having a bad day. Maybe he backed over his garbage pail on the way out of the driveway. Maybe his or her spouse argued with them this morning, or the dog bit them. Doesn't matter. They can be having a bad day, and they want to mess up your day. The difference here, of course, is the magnitude of the messing up that they can do to your day. We could maybe spend several years with them explaining our sailing. In detention. It's a beautiful night. Scary. Beautiful. We'll see a few ships in the dark and on the AIS, but it's uneventful. By 6:30 a.m., Marie's back on deck, and we're watching the sunrise together. In Polish waters. Poland's easy. And then at 7:09, we spot the coast of Poland, the Gulf of Gdansk. Pressure relief. Woohoo! We made it. Drama? Done. Well, after a long night from Lithuania. This is the first view of Poland. It turned out to be about 30 hours for that trip because we had a lot of wind on our nose and we don't move very quickly at that. Some hours where we only were doing 4 knots in the middle of the night, 15 knots of wind blowing in our face. Anyways, I understand we can find amber on the beaches here just like back in Lithuania. Maybe we'll do that. It's nice to see the sun after a long night. We're tired, but finally relaxed. We dance into the harbor at Hell between the incoming and outgoing ferries, seemingly every few minutes, and tie off on the inner pier. This is a vacation destination close to the big city of Gdansk, and so it's really busy in the summer afternoon. It's a little bouncy here on this pier, but nothing compared to Ruhukala in Latvia. We're safe, pretty comfortable, and relieved. It's 11:32 a.m., 1 hour later now, due to the time change back from the Baltics to Central Europe, and the sun is shining. Welcome to Hell. What a beautiful place. Let's get ready to go see Poland and begin traveling west for the next several weeks. So, thanks for joining us. It has been one hectic night. We've had several months of planning this trip and worrying what it was going to be like, and now we've got that pressure relieved. Amazing. The rest of this season should be great. So, thanks for watching episode 34. And now we're going to prepare and get ready to go west. See you in episode 35. Aaron and Marie, somewhere beyond the sea.
Beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me. My lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing.